So I did something this morning I haven't done in years. I went to the gym and used the elliptical. Welcome to Ageless Runner. I'm Ralph. So I recently signed up for a half marathon in about 6 weeks, and as I mentioned in my consistency video, I haven't been training very much in the past 6 weeks because of a lot of reasons, and so I'm trying to be more consistent. So today was going to be a run day, but we've got this wind advisory. There are 45 and 50 mile an hour winds out there. I'm not going to go running that. And then tomorrow it's going to rain, so I have 2 days. It'd be almost impossible for me to go outside and run. So I decided to do something I've done in years, and that's go to the gym and use the elliptical. When I first started running, I did a little bit of running on the treadmill, but quickly came to the decision that's a bad idea. I'm talking about getting injured. When you've got this treadmill moving underneath you, you can't adjust very quickly to a misplaced foot or a misstep or a little out of balance. It's very difficult to recoup from that, and you risk injury or even falling off the treadmill. And so I decided that at my age and my balance, I wasn't going to do that. But I did discover the elliptical. I had an exercise physiologist tell me once that the elliptical was actually designed to mimic running, but be low impact. And that's the key benefit of the elliptical. It's still weight bearing, you're still upright, moving your arms and your legs, but it's very low impact. Your body's not pounding pavement or pounding ground, whatever. So it's a little easier on your body, a little easier on your joints. In fact, if you have an injury, an elliptical might be an option to train a little bit with that injury as opposed to going out and running actually on the ground. So low impact is a big advantage of elliptical, and two other advantages are it does mimic the movements of walking and running. The motion is very similar to doing that. And another advantage it gives us, it's kind of a whole body workout. If you use the handles, and move your arms as you move your feet, you're kind of working your whole body. You don't have to use the handles, you can just keep them stationary on the elliptical. But if you move your arms and your feet, you can do a whole body workout. So it's really a great idea for doing a run when you can't get outside. Now, one little drawback of the elliptical, I think, at least the ones in my gym, I now belong to a Planet Fitness. And of course, they're very fine machines, they work very well, but they do not allow you to adjust stride length. The old gym I belonged to 5 or 6 years ago when I was still working, it was actually a gym run by the local hospital, and they had really nice equipment there. You could actually adjust the stride length a little bit, and that worked very nicely because, everybody has a little bit different stride length. So I like that a little better, but still the ones at Planet Fitness work fine. There's no difficulty in that. Now, if you've never used an elliptical, obviously you can get some instruction from the staff, and I'm not going to give you a play-by-play instruction video, but it's pretty straightforward. Get on it, put your feet on the pedals, put your hands on the handles, and just start moving. The elliptical is self-powered, so when you start doing that, the display will come on. Now, the elliptical, like treadmills at the gym, you can use pre-programmed modes where it'll vary intensity and speed and level and all these things. And I don't use that. I just strictly use a manual mode. Typically involves pressing go or start. Sometimes there's a button that says manual. And then there's 2 parameters that you'll want to adjust. So my Planet Fitness, the elliptical has one characteristic they call level, which is kind of resistance, which is how hard it is to move your feet and move the handles. So obviously higher is harder. The second parameter you can adjust is incline. It feels like, are you going uphill or you're not going uphill? And the advantage of an incline, if you can do some incline, it's going to work more of your glutes. So you get some of that glute training if you put the elliptical on an incline. One thing I remember this morning after using the elliptical for a while, with no incline, it really works your quads. So if you really want to work your thighs and get them burning, elliptical is really good for that. In fact, I only went about 15 minutes before I had to stop and go do something else. I did the treadmill for a little while, just walking, because it really started burning my quads. So I think I'm going to make the elliptical part of my routine going forward because it's working, evidently, my quads a little harder, and you're probably working your muscles a little differently than if you're out running on the ground. So I think doing something like that could probably make me a better runner, give me a little different exercise, and could be a great way for me to incorporate a harder run, inclines and things like that, because I don't have a lot of hills around where I live. So I think I'm going to make that a routine in my running going forward. Maybe not every week, but maybe every 10 days to 2 weeks, I'm going to go do a workout on the elliptical. So you might want to consider that too. So I want to throw that suggestion out there of something to try if you're looking for something to do indoors when you can't run. I would stay away from the treadmill. I think they're kind of dangerous. Try the elliptical. Of course, there's other cardio equipment at the gym. You can do stair climbers, stationary bikes, recumbent bikes. Those aren't running kinds of things, but they're certainly very cardio, and I would encourage that also. But consider the elliptical if you're not using it. I think it's a great whole body workout. Hey, thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please scroll down and hit that like icon. If you're new here, I would love to have you stick around. I got lots of wonderful things to share with you. Please also hit that subscribe icon. Thanks so much and happy running.